Which country you come from?
My name is Rishad and I came from Bangladesh.
Okay. And now what's your major?
My major is computer science and technology.
Okay. Which university?
Currently I'm studying at Zhejiang Gongsheng University, but I did my bachelor from Hangzhou Dianji University.
Oh, that's nice. So why you choose China for your study?
After completing my senior high school degree, I was searching some universities in Europe and some other countries for my bachelor degree, but there was time limitation and some complication about visa, and I had some of my brothers, they're studying in different universities in China, and they were recommending me that China is really good for study, especially engineering, because it's now one of the fast developing country in the world. So I thought, why not to try in China, and then I tried and I came here.
Okay, got it. So what do you most like in China? What fascinates?
I think the first thing is Chinese people. They are so friendly, and the living environment in China is so amazing. We have peace everywhere, and it's safe, and life is so convenient. Technology advancement. So yeah, I think the lifestyle and the people.
Okay. So what's your plan after your graduation? Will you gonna be here?
Currently, I'm doing my master degree, so I have planned to do job after completing the graduation. But I'm not quite sure, but I will maybe go for a PhD or something. But first I will try for job because I heard that in Hangzhou it's tough to get job without a master degree. So I stayed, and maybe I will apply for job.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your opinion.
Thank you.
Okay, so all right, people, can you hear me? Because I am okay. So people, can you hear me now? All right.那两个视频就放完了，但就是说每放完一个视频绝对会掉一次。Alright, so hey guys, I'm here now officially for this live here with AOE in Chinese. As you guys have seen, we just played the video about our company. So my name is Tom. I'm your host here today, and if you have any questions about our company or about the services we provide, we'd love to tell you more, right? So let's begin by telling you what AOE Chinese is. So we are actually a very famous brand here in China. We offer services from studying Chinese, passing HSK exams, and helping you to choose the right university program for studying in China, right? Specifically for the upcoming topics as well as for the current topic, we will talk about studying in, okay, we'll talk about study in China, right? And today we're going to talk about the best universities in China, actually, the most competitive ones to get into, right? As you mentioned, that China is a huge country. There are actually more than 2,000 universities 2,000 universities on the list from Ministry of Education. And so, and the rankings of the university has been on the rise in recent years, right? So we have lots of international students that actually come to China to get a very, very good education, right? And Chinese universities, actually these days, there has been increased financial support from the Chinese government due to the rise in China's economics. So these universities with increased investment from the Chinese government, they have been producing more research results, and also they help students to become extremely competitive in the job market upon they graduate, right? So, and there are lots of advantages for international students who actually study in those schools, right? And so, and today we're going to talk about what those universities are, as well as the benefits of studying in those universities, right? So, guys, we are actually from AOE Chinese. As we mentioned, what our services are, and like studying in China is a very big, is a pretty big thing, right? You have to start from 0 to 1, 1 to 100. That's actually a very, very long, drawn out process, right? So if you actually come to us, we'll assess your situation. We'll choose what the best university for you. We'll also help you with the application procedures, as well as document verification and submission. Right. This will, and we'll also help you to obtain Chinese scholarship, and we'll guide you on visa application. And if you come to China, we're gonna help you with living in China, as well as finding dormitories on campus and off campus. And for other post-arrival arrangements, we can also help you sort them out, right? And so we're actually a very professional, comprehensive, inclusive service. So guys, please choose AOE Chinese, right? And we can address all your concerns directly, okay? So before we actually begin to talk about, this whole thing, let's understand the 3 projects.
已经直播了，开始了。应该是今天的
网络很多问题，放个视频吧。 Okay, my friends. So we are gonna continue with where we left off, right? We were just talking about the top ranking universities in China as well as the benefits of studying in those universities. So we will continue with where we left off. Okay, so we have three projects in China: Project 211, Project 985, and the C9 League, right? And let's begin by understanding what those are. So these programs, they have globally competitive curriculum, world-class professors, and a diverse and highly talented student population, as well as a vast network of powerful alumni. Right? So this is so will help you understand those three projects, right? So what is Project 211? So Project 211, it was an educational initiative that started in 1995. At that time being, Chinese universities, they were in fact not globally recognized, right? It was still very hard to get into a Chinese university at that time. Pretty much you have to be the elite out of the elite students to get into any university. Plus the fact that Chinese universities, they have had a very low ranking overall, right? So this is why in 1995 the Chinese government decided to begin Project 211, and there were 100 universities that were funded. Right? The Chinese universities, the Chinese government wanted to elevate them to international standard by the end of the 21st century. Okay. And nowadays, these universities, they're not ranked very high in China, but also at the rest of the world. Some of the universities that first began on Project 211 include like Zhejiang University, Zhejiang Normal University, China Agricultural University, Shandong University, Beijing Forestry Universities. Now, most of the Project 211 universities, they are located in Hangzhou, Shanghai, Beijing, Chengdu, Chengdu, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, these kind of big cities, you'll find lots of such universities, right? And currently there are 112 such universities on those lists. Okay, as we mentioned that China has like around 100 universities total ranking within the global 1,000, right? And so most of those most of those 100 most of the 112 universities on the most of the 112 universities on the Project 211 list, they are actually within global 100. You can check the ARWU or EQS ranking, just all different kinds of rankings. They're actually really up there, right? And you can also, another city where you can find so many Project 211 universities is actually Nanjing. Nanjing University is actually, I think nowadays is one of the elite universities in China, right? And okay, so we're actually gonna continue right now. We're gonna keep going with where we went, and actually Nanjing University is also one of the 211 universities, right? And 211 universities, actually a lot of the students, if you can actually get into a 211 university, a university on the 211 program list, upon graduation, you'll have a lot of success in the industry, and there's also like advanced labs and facilities on the 211 university project list, right? In the city of Hangzhou, we have so many great universities within 211. Now, the next point we want to talk about is the project 295. Now, 295 is actually a continuation of project 211, and it also coincides with China's strategic plan. It's called developing development science and education, right? And so the date that the project 2985 was initiated was May 1998. It was actually the commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the funding of Beijing University. Beijing University was actually funded during the Qing Dynasty, right? In Haidian district. We'll talk a lot more about Beijing University later on, but now just for you to understand that, like on May 1998, this university was actually funded. 1998, I mean, project 2985 was actually funded. The aim of this project is actually to create elite universities from the 39 universities under Project 211. Initially, there was actually a lot of there was a lot of funding to only 9 universities was included on the list, right? And these universities that actually include Tsinghua University, Zhejiang University, Shanghai Jiaotong University, University of Science and Technology, Harbin Institute of Technology, Beijing University, and Nanjing University. Now, Harbin Institute of Technology is actually it's a university in the far northeastern part of China, right? It's not really that popular, but it's not very popular, but it is indeed one of the 9 universities, the first 9 universities within Project 985, right? So basically, this is actually extremely successful. I mean, so that's why in 2004, the Chinese government added 30 more universities to this list during this second phase of Project 211. So we have like a total of 39 universities under this project. Right. So this means that some of the universities are actually both on Project 211 and Project 985. For example, Nanjing University that we mentioned, right? And also we have Shandong University. Shandong University is both 985 and 211, right? And there's like a list of university that goes on forever. And so these universities, the universities within the 985 project list, they have growing prestige and influence in the world of higher education. Most of the students, if they can go into a 985 program, right? I cannot say for sure, but if they do get into 985, and once they graduate, right, they can find a job very easily. At the same time, most of the students from these kind of universities, they can actually go into academia, right? I mean, if you're from Project 985, you already have a very, very decent chance of finding a job in academia, right? But C9 League is better. Then that's a different topic. We'll talk about that right after this part. We'll talk about the C9 League after that, right? And guys, so as I wanted to remind you that we are a company called AOE Chinese. We actually offer very professional study in China programs, right? For a study in China program will help you everything, starting from the very beginning, even in choosing your university, okay? So guys, you can tell us what your current situation is, what your goal of studying in China is. We'll look at your overall situation, okay, and give you the best recommendation based on your needs and interest. And we'll select the right university for you. And also, once we decide on the university, we'll help you with the application procedure, your document verification and submission. Because like to apply for a Chinese visa, you need like a list of required documents. Of course, HSK is one of them, right? But we can also. So this means that we can also help you like pass HSK, right? And we'll also increase your chance of obtaining scholarship, guide you on visa application, and we'll offer you valuable information about living in China. And on campus and off campus accommodation is also a huge factor to consider, right? So we'll help you with that, and also for other kinds of like post-arrival arrangements will definitely help you. So I can assure you, we do have very, very comprehensive and very, very comprehensive and professional service. Okay, so that's this part, right? And so just now we talked about what Project 211 is and what Project 985 list is, right? So 985 is actually a continuation of Project 211. And so now we have what's called the C9 League, which is built upon Project 985, right? So this whole C9 League sort of thing, it's like China's Ivy League. It's like China's version of Duke, Stanford, MIT, Harvard, that those lists of universities, right? And so this whole league sort of thing, it started in 2009. It was formed out of the initial 9 prestigious universities from the Project 985 list, right? And this is to create a group of like an elite group of Chinese universities, attract the most talented students worldwide and share resources. So these universities, they actually receive substantial amount of support from the Chinese government and local government, and they produce fantastic research results. Okay, when I say fantastic research results, I really mean it. I really mean they have good they have a lot of like publications on major world research journals and all that kind of stuff, right? So they account for 3% of China's research scholars, and they receive 10% of China's national research budget, and they produce 20% of cited academic papers in China. All right. So they're actually a priority in grants and special privilege, right? And they top the major publications of world university rankings, such as QS World Ranking, ARWU, and Times Higher Education, right? So that's the whole story with the C9 League. And actually, some of the students we have right here at AOE Chinese, they have been admitted to the C9 League and they studied there and they had a wonderful experience. And if you have very core, hard, solid academic background, maybe we can help you get into one of the C9 League. In fact, the C9 League is very competitive to get into. No matter what province you are in China, the students are aspiring to get into these kind of universities, right? And then there's also the very recent plan, which started in 2015. It's called the Double First Class University, right? There are currently so there are actually 42 double first class universities and 465 disciplines among 140 schools. And the aim of this program is to develop these double first class universities or their corresponding faculties into world-class and globally ranked universities by mid 21st century, right? So there's actually increased investment and resources into those universities to help their development, right? And as we mentioned that, so if you can actually, as an international student, or if you're just Chinese student, if you can actually get into a C9 League, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding position in academia upon graduation. So if you actually graduate and you go outside to the to the world of work or world of academia, very easy for you to actually find a job. Oh, my friend, okay. So now I mentioned all these projects, also the double first class program. We will begin by looking at specific schools in China, as well as their their research background or their reputations, their recognition sort of stuff, right? So first, let's look at Peking University. So Peking University, we call them Beida, right? So that's actually a pretty good school. Now, I'm not giving you exaggeration. Maybe only maybe 10 or 15 students from each province can get into Beida. Okay, that's from a statistical point of view, right? And so Beida is the best ranking universities in China, and it's also a world-class prestigious universities. And actually Beida has so many beautiful campuses. I believe those days Beida also has a campus in Xiong'an New District. And so this university, I will definitely recommend it to you because you can experience like a blend of Chinese and Western influence, right? And as I mentioned, it is extremely competitive to get into. Beida is better. Peking University is actually very, very good, mostly for the liberal arts program. Not saying it's bad at other programs. It's also pretty good in, like science and engineering, but its core areas of strength is the liberal arts subjects and the humanities, right? So the university actually fosters progress, patriotism, and science. And many of those Northboy alumni, of course, they've gone into research. They have become advanced, like research scholars in like United States, Switzerland. I mean, United States, Europe, Canada, England. They also have, become, presidents of other universities in China, right? So this is Peking University, and we also have another university in China that's also extremely great. Like we call that Tsinghua University. Usually, like Peking University and Tsinghua University, they're called sister universities, right? Sister universities meaning because they're like they're like the dual pair, which are equally competitive to get into. If you're a Chinese student trying to if you're a Chinese student, you're trying to go through the whole Gaokao sort of system, right? You have to be the top student in your province to be getting into either Peking University or Tsinghua University. Tsinghua University is also located in Haidian District. As I mentioned, it's one of the highest ranking universities in China. And it is a comprehensive university, and there are a wide range of subjects and disciplines. And the best programs there, they're actually the engineering programs, right? For example, former Chinese President Hu Jintao studied hydraulic or hydrological engineering, hydraulic engineering at the Tsinghua University. And there are actually more than 4,000 international students currently enrolled in this university. So there are actually many English top programs. The reason, of course, the English top programs, they're there to attract the international students. But the reason why there are so many English top programs is that there are many professors or lecturers who are educated globally, or they have a sort of like a global educational program, right? And so some of the notable alumni of this university, we mentioned former Chinese President Hu Jintao, the current Chinese President Xi Jinping. He was a chemical engineering major there. And also former Chinese Premier Zhu Rongji, I think he was an economics major at that university, but I'm not 100% sure. I have to check his profile on the internet. But pretty much many of those notable alumni from Tsinghua University, they have become Chinese leaders. They have gone into politics. And actually, I'm pretty sure it's not just those three Chinese leaders who graduated from Tsinghua. There are also other leaders who actually graduated from those universities, okay? So now I also want to talk about another university, right? So another university is actually Zhejiang University. As you guys know, that we are located in Hangzhou. Hangzhou is the capital city of Zhejiang province, and it is the city where all the educational resources are actually concentrated. Now, Zhejiang University, I think the main campus is at Qiushi campus or maybe Yuquan campus. I'm not 100% sure, but Zhejiang University has expanded rapidly in recent years, and those 7 campuses, they're at different locations in Hangzhou, right? They all pick very good spots, right? There are beautiful rivers and mountains and forests there, and the campus environment there is so cozy, so nice. And the moment when you walk inside, oh my gosh, you can hear the birds chirping. You can also see very good buildings, like the old style buildings, and you can also like do some sports and exercises there, my friends, right? And so the Haining campus is actually Zijingang campus is actually pretty good for arts. They actually have a pretty good arts museum, arts and architecture museum in on the campus, right? Yuquan campus, I myself visit there frequently with my friends. Actually, before the lockdown, before the restrictions, right? You Everybody can enter Zhejiang University Yuquan campus very very easily. Like there's no university gates, there are no like security guards. You can just walk in whenever you want, and it's actually right behind. It's actually right behind those hills or those mountains called the Northern Peak. Right below that, and so if you go in through the main entrance, you can exit from the back door to climb the mountains, right? Climb up to the mountains and go all the way down, right, guys? I will tell you one thing: Zhejiang University, the campus is super amazing, super beautiful, and super nice, and also the university is actually embedded in forest, right? It's also pretty close to the West Lake. Actually, if you exit Yuquan campus from the main gate, if you just ride your back southbound through that little trail, you can get to West Lake, the botanical gardens. And I must, now this is just a personal statement. I think Yuquan campus, it's pretty small, but it is one of the most beautiful and harmonious campuses, harmonious campuses of Zhejiang University. And right beside the Yuquan campus, I've been to the university student dorm room communities, right? I've also had international students who study there. I went inside their dorm rooms. It's pretty nice, pretty neat, right? Now that's but I hope you want to study here if you have enough credentials to get into Zhejiang University is also a great university. And also I will say that Zhejiang University is actually very very competitive to get into as well. Even if you're not one of the top students, even if you're not like the top one or top two student in your province, I think you have to be within maybe the top 30 in your province in order to get into um, Zhejiang University, right? And so the Haining campus, as I mentioned, is actually it's an international campus. It's a relatively new campus, and every year there are actually a ton, like a large number of international students that are studying there. And this campus is actually home to many joint research institutes and labs. I've actually had a German friend who did some sort of like liberal arts master's degree in on the Haining campus. She told me it's beautiful, and if you walk around the campus, you can see you can see the rice paddies with the ducks and also some birds flying. It's like out of the middle of nowhere in Haining, which is located kind of like between Jiaxing and Hangzhou. And that place, oh my gosh, it is extremely what am I meant to say right here? It is extremely beautiful, right, guys? So, and also another advantage with this whole like Zhejiang University is that there's like a huge library collection. So there are like a total of 7 million volume of books, and it is also one of China's largest academic collections, right? So Zhejiang University, I will tell you, it also produces a lot of research papers and research results, right? I've actually spoken to students from Zhejiang University, and they're really, really smart people. They're actually extremely talented, extremely hardworking. Also, because I ride past their campus all the time, I can see the students. They're all extremely busy all the time, very, very busy, and just doing their work every single day of their life, right? But but I hope you can get into one of the universities in one of those universities to experience what it's like. And of course, some of the other prestigious universities within the C9 League. We also have Shanghai Jiaotong University, right? Shanghai Jiaotong University is very good for many of the engineering programs. Jiaotong actually means like public, like communication. They call it communications in English, but let's just call it transportation. But it's very, very good for its engineering programs. It's in Shanghai, and also I think that I'm not 100% sure though, right? I'm not 100% sure, but I think they are very good at civil engineering, right? And Fudan University is very good for their liberal arts program, and it's also located in Shanghai. Shanghai Jiaotong University, Fudan University, all these universities that are located in Shanghai, very good. And we also have like HIT, Harbin Institute of Technology. I think Harbin Institute of Technology is just very good for some technology programs overall. And there's also the China University of Science and Technology. This university, guys, it is actually they have some of the best research labs in China. I think they have like a silicon lab in Hefei, and many of the students from China University of Science and Technology, they go into engineering and scientific research upon graduation, right? So basically, it's a pretty nice school, and they all also many of the students, they actually try very hard to get into that school. Okay, so guys, if you're an international student, if you can get into like 211 C9, 211 985 or the C9 universities, you'll have lots and lots of chance in the job market. You'll be extremely competitive, and while you're studying on campus, you'll enjoy the benefits of China's investment into education. You'll have the best research labs, and also there's the best, most beautiful, and also the most beautiful campuses in China, right? Also maybe in the world. And as we mentioned, that Chinese universities, they have been on the rise in recent years. There has been increased investments and so many international students studying in China. So if you actually study in those universities, once you graduate, you can find a job. You can find a job very easily. And if you're in C9 or the 985, it will be very, very easy for you to go into academia upon graduation, right, guys? So that's that. And also guys, so we are from AOE Chinese. We're a very, very professional company specializing in Chinese courses, HSK exams, and also the study in China program, right? So if you have any questions about studying in China, if you have any questions about studying in China or studying China, you can always contact us. Or studying in China program, well, first you tell us your situation. We'll look at your situation and determine the best university that is for you. And then after that, we'll help you with applying for those universities. Like if you apply, you need to write your personal statements. You need to show your transcript, all that kind of stuff, right? There will be a lot of documents. So we'll help you with collecting all the necessary documents and all the necessary materials on file to increase your chance of getting there. We'll also help you with scholarship applications, right? And also before you arrive in China, we'll give you an orientation. An orientation is when we actually tell you the whole situation, like tell you, hey, what it's all about when you study here, what's the situation like, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. And we will also we'll also assess, and we'll also help you with off-campus and on-campus accommodation when you arrive in China. We'll keep you updated with all the local situations, right? If you need help with transport and everything, we can definitely help you with that. I mean, those are some of the very easy things. And guys, we do have lots of friends right here in in AOE Chinese. I had to. We they got into the best some of the best universities in China. We have alumni or members there, notable. There are some good alumni from those universities, and yeah, and so we'll be very happy if you can actually join us in those in the study in China project, right? And so guys, and also for those advanced universities, they're actually in some good cities in China. The cities, okay, so most of the 985 programs, they're either in Beijing and Shanghai. Hefei has one of them, Harbin has one of them, and Zhejiang has one of them. I mean, most of the the C9 League universities, they're in Beijing or Shanghai. Hangzhou has one C9 League uni, Hefei has one, and Harbin has one. And most of the universities, 39 universities on the 985 project list, they're in Beijing and Shanghai as well. Also, we have some in like Zhejiang. I mean Hangzhou. We also have some in like Chengdu. Chengdu actually they have Sichuan University, and also just mostly located in large cities. And so that is why if you're going to study, or also it's the same for the 211 universities. 211 universities, most of them are in Beijing, Shanghai, Hangzhou, Chengdu, and Guangzhou, Shenzhen. I think these kind of cities, right? So that is why, my friends, when you come to study in China, you should choose a very, very good city as well in order to, because those cities, they have the best educational resources. But even though they're best, it's also extremely competitive to get into. So guys, make sure to hit that subscribe. Guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're interested in us. If you're, if you're interested in like this whole thing about learning Chinese, studying in China, or passing your HSK exams, we can always help you, right? And definitely will give you the best results you want. So just as I mentioned, the best cities in China, they have the best educational resources. So for the next topic, we're going to talk about what city you should choose when you study in China. We'll also maybe look at some of the best cities in China, their benefits, pros and cons of studying in them, right, guys? So, okay, we're going to close the live very, very soon, my friends. See you next time, my friends. Have a very, very nice day, my friends. Okay, so guys, drop a comment in the comment section if you do have a specific question about study in China. And if you have some situations you want to describe, or if you know what your major is, if you know your plans after you graduate from China, you can also tell us. We'll look at your situation, tell you what program you should go to, what universities you should study in. We'll look at your entire situation and make it so much easier for you to study in China, live in China, make your studying in China experience more fun and more positive. Okay, so thank you guys. Have a very, very nice day. See you next time. Bye. Bye, guys. Anybody else still here, guys? See you.